Now, let's talk about things that don't go right, because I've been just talking about how it looks when things go like perfectly well. Um, Here's my humbling. I guess this would be my best thing, and it's a co-best thing. When you go to name something, there's a simple instinct one might have, especially if they've been in marketing for 15 plus years. When you land on a name that you really like, you would maybe go search to see if the URL is available. You maybe would go Google it and see if it's already in use other places. That would be a natural instinct, and an instinct you should follow and listen to. Somehow, occasionally, even if you have 15 years experience, you will ignore that instinct and just start creating the thing under the name which you like. And sometimes you might even have a smart friend doing this with you, and somehow they will ignore the same instinct. And together, you will create 10 episodes of a thing with a certain name. And then one of you, on a whim, will search it only to find out that name with the exact same spelling already exists in a substantial enough a way to where it would be nearly impossible to try to compete with that existing entity. And then you have to completely rename the thing you want to do. Uh, and in my case, it is a new podcast that I'm very excited about. If you were here on the last Chief Chat, you know that it was called 1099 TEN numeral 9, because that is, of course, the document we use. 1099 is contracted labor. And we thought that was kind of clever and cool for a podcast name, Mike, Lukas, and I. And then Mike Googled it and started frantically sending me screenshots telling me we're screwed. We can't use this name. And I'm like, nah, dude, it's fine. It's probably nothing. Like, are they posting recently? Or is it like a thing? And he's like sending me, yeah, they got like thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm like, oh shit. So Mike and I are now searching for the new name of the podcast. For me, is that hi Mike? You're very cozy. You're like really advanced. Is it
But, yeah, it's crazy here in Dallas. Kev, I'm gonna do my best to come live to you, but right now we're suffering a real a temperature shift. Last night it was about, I don't know, 82, 83 degrees, and this morning I woke up and I don't know. You tell me.
48 degrees. Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So we're really frantically sort of battening down the hatches. It rained a little bit, and we're just trying to survive, Kev. We're just trying to keep warm, and we're trying to it's Texas, so we're just trying to do. We fight. I'm from Cleveland, but I'm living here now, so I have to do what they do here, the natives. And
yeah, I'm glad you're adapting. You look warm enough.
I got an electric blanket. I got a hat on. I haven't shaved for hours. And
is that bone broth you got there?
This is what we did is we have 3 cats, and we killed one of them, and we boiled the bones to make broth. It was the older one, so
that may have been premature, Mike. It's only 48.
Don't feel sad. It's the older one, and she was slow. She was keeping the pack, slow. She was slowing down the pack.
You saw her as a detriment to your survival. So, all right. Well,
oh, Miss Amelia, and so we're just doing our best here. I did a freezer check. We've got a little bit of meat left. We got some hamburger. We got a pound of beef. And we got a pork loin. So I think
all right,
the dog's safe.
Right. Well, all right for now.
Right now, it is cold, man. It's cold.
I thought originally the bit was you were trying to one up Rachel for being afternoon coffee, Rachel, with your extra cozy blanket and some.
She looked good. Congratulations to her and to was it Robert?
Patrick.
Yeah, that's
Patrick
great.
Kenny.
Or Patrick, yeah, Patrick Kenny.
The guy's so good you had.
I call him Robert. It's my nickname.
Yeah, I know you guys are close that way.
Well, one of the guys I knew who was the most successful in my world was named Robert. So anyone who I see in the public who's successful, I call them Robert, and it just it's a compliment, really.
Right.
It's not
only you understand. Bobby. I just call him Bobby.
Idiots, dude. What we dropped the ball.
Yeah, we goofed that up. So we've got a thread going where we're asking people to help us now name this podcast.
Desperate thread.
And
but of course the Copy Chief people stepped up. I mean, we've got just to name some names: Tim Wu, Brett Randall, Joshua Lee Henry, Darren Hanser, Tanya Pisler, Jess Torrance, Finn Lobzine, Zach Hansen, Ross O'Loughlin, John Sloan. I'm dropping names like the temperatures in Dallas.
By the way, David Power, the comment of the chat so far: less whiskers, more broth.
To shave.
I don't know, man. Like, it's tricky when you want to name something because you think of things like, are we going to enjoy saying this name a year from now, right? Like, will people adopt it? Does it roll off the tongue? Does it have the right amount of syllables? All those things. But then you also don't want it to feel like manufactured. Like you put that much thought into it. Like it became its thing, you know?
It can't be too clever.
Right.
Yeah.
And so,
and you're the host, so you have to keep saying it over and over again. So I see why that's a concern of yours. I have to basically just stare at the marketing. So, but you have to repeat the name over and over again.
Yeah. So, and,
but did you see some of the?
I did. There's some really cool. There's some really cool ones in there.
There's some great ones.
One Kev, two mics. What was it? One Kev.
Yeah, I mean, technically it would be three mics because you have a mic and I have a mic and I'm a mic and you're the Kev.
Gotcha.
But still, though, it's a great one Kev, three mics is a great name. Yeah. I like two freelancers and then he put this is Brett Randall says insert funny word. So like two freelancers and a beard. Or
actually, I like insert funny word. I mean, it's long, but if you just left that there,
just keep with the underlines in it.
We should just call the show "Insert Funny Word." That should be the name of the show. There'd be no indication it's for freelancers or how to build a freelancing career, but
and that's the struggle with naming something is you want to have the name include something that says this is what this is about, but you also want to have it sort of like not direct hit. You know, you want it to be a sort of on the side. Right. Like I was mentioning that Dean Jackson's podcast, more cheese, less whiskers. It's regarding a phrase that people use in marketing. So it's a cool side
that he created. Yeah, it's like something he made famous. But again,
that was his thing already.
It was, but you know, it dares to be inside though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you don't even know if you look at that. You don't say marketing. You don't say golf. You don't say housing. You don't say anything. You just say what is this? And
that's what I liked about 1099 because it was inside enough to where you only a contractor would know that, you know.
Although one person said that like in terms of a worldwide audience,
it was limited to the US.
And then that was the same. I think I don't know who that was. Man, I don't want to drop the wrong name. I thought maybe Brett Randall, but they said whoever it was from Ireland, and they said, hey, listen, UB40 is what we use in our thing. So use that. Don't bother looking it up. That would be a great name for
Russ Reynolds. Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah. And I thought that was so funny because why not? We did
right. We didn't look up the other one.
Such a basic thing, and that's something that we talk about on our podcast. Is things like that, like mistakes you can make, and moves that you go too quickly on, where you can really save a lot of time, energy, and hassle. Like we could have prevented an entire contest by just Googling the name.
Just doing some research. A simple 6-second Google search. Yeah.
But there's so many good suggestions like G-Lansing. I like that. Finn Lobzing had some funny ones because he ended up by saying, am I doing this right? Because like his whole thing was G-Lansing, the best freelancing advice on lit hip hop beats. Key Lansing, open the lock to money. Freelancing, you can do it for exposure. It doesn't cost nothing. He's like, am I doing this right? Funny.
Yeah, man. So we'll just ask everybody to keep contributing. You know, I think sometimes it's a process of, it's not like, oh my God, that's it, comes out of nowhere. It starts with that. And then and then you got to say it for a couple of days and it starts to feel good.
It kind of sounds like you're saying that no one won.
Oh, and there's not a winner yet. No, I'm not seeing one.
I haven't. Well, you know what I like though, Ross O'Loughlin. He's one of our heroes. But Ross, he says, I feel like the word show needs to be in there. You know, so I think he might be right, because you and I, you know, we spent years doing shows, and so this podcast is, I mean, that's what the kids do. Us old guys do the show.
We do the show. That's right.
You know,
Showtime.
And in the end, I think, you know, when the smoke clears and we release the book Real Free Life, and you begin just continue to teach the Real Free Life course, and just produce baby graduates all over the world that just become superstars in the copyright and other worlds, then I think that we're going to begin to say it might be the Real Free Life podcast that we the Real Free Life show.
Well, that's the thing, is like, that's what's funny, is that's what we call it. It's like, oh, it's the RFL podcast, the Real Free Life, and
that's what we call it on the inside. We're just like,
it's like, why don't you just use that? And it does kind of, I could take a lesson from my previous podcast. First of all, like, John and I joked that we did the worst job ever marketing a podcast with Psych Insights, because our URL is pi4mm.com, which is just impossible to remember, or
just a bunch of computer nerds just randomly typing letters, and monkeys.
Yeah,
hey, we got it. We got it. There's a podcast.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to monkeys.
No, but yeah, but Truth About Marketing was a cool name, but it was, to me, that it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing about, because for the longest time, the winning headline for banner ads that you couldn't beat was the truth about abs, or the truth about anything, and I was like, it's kind of an inside joke about that. Right. And then that faded, and then it almost felt like, that's a show from, you know what I mean? Like, but then I really wanted to be able to just market Copy Chief, so I chose Copy Chief Radio as the standalone podcast, because I had to. And so that's what I'm thinking, is like, are we just going to end up going, why didn't we call it Real Free Life? Because that's where we want it, people.
Yeah, and that's what we're really, I mean, truly, that we're pitching freelancer independence. We're a free life for freelancers, anyone who wants to make a living doing their thing.
Yeah.
Like, from this point forward, not like from where they wish they were, or where they used to be, or where they want to be. It's from, like, right now, what's your deal? Do you have a wife, a kid, a husband? Do you have, are you birthing a turtle? What's going on in your personal world? We can make it happen from that point forward. And I think that, but you have to consider that, because what if that's your authority? What if you're a turtle birther?
That's right. And then, so where do you begin? Like,
I saw your smirk. Market? Don't judge. Don't smirk.
And then, well, at least you get the paper straw trend. That's helpful. But yeah, I would say this, like,
in a plastic cup with a paper straw.
The word independent or independence is key. Like, I think that's definitely something we could build around. But anyway, all this to say two things. One, Google it. Google it before you begin investing.
Job one.
And two,
so easy.
Help us if you have more ideas. The thread is Inside Copy Chief. We'd love to hear your ideas to name our upcoming podcast.
Something that's better than Real Free Life show or Real Free Life podcast. It has to. That's
kind of where we're at now. If you forced us tomorrow, we'd probably just call it.
Although I gotta say, there's some pretty good ones, man. Lancelot.
Lance much? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, there's some. Yeah, well,
that could you know that could be a surgeon's podcast about, you know, releasing.
Oh, God,
I don't know.
What is the skin doctor called? Yeah, that's disgusting. All right. Well,
we'll keep searching, but like after Copy Chief Live, because we're really building a lot of emphasis towards that. We're excited about that, and I can't wait to be there and say hi to everybody and give 3 to 4 of you a hug. But
hopefully shaven. Nobody wants a gray whisker hug.
Right. Look at this. This is like someone stole my wine hug.
It is.
Hey, who stole my wine? Where's my wine?
You at least got to bring it into like a 5 on the shade level. I let you borrow my beard mascara.
I don't have access to mascara, so what I do is I just let it grow naturally.
Get off my lawn, beard. Yeah.
Get off my lawn. Look at you,
old Clint Eastwood beard. Yeah.
Right.
We just
Right.
started growling.
And you look at him and you're just like, God, I thought he was doing better. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just so
he's
weak.
not well.
It's sad. But yeah, well, I'll have a pack of razors at the Copy Chief Live. That's my promise. That's how we're gonna go down there. And but it'll be in Florida, so it'll be warm. I won't have to battle up against. I mean, this is boiled beans. This is just warmth and protein. That's what I'm doing here now. I'm surviving. So you can't judge me for this.
Lindsay now has the funniest comment of the whole Chief Chat. Off of the Clint Eastwood thing, she said, "That's my underpass." Combining.
Get out of there. If you're not buying sunflower seeds, then move on. It's my underpass. It's 48. We're surviving here. You don't get it.
Of course,
hey,
yeah.
I'll tell you what. Sometimes, yeah, I got a black scratcher. This was a birthday present for my kids.
I don't know where that normally goes, where you can't reach, but I probably wouldn't put it on
by
your
my
face.
desk, dude. This is you have to
all right.
understand.
Mike Lucas, everybody, help us name our Wayward podcast, and I swear to you, it's going to be worth the effort, because then we can release it, and we've got 10 badass episodes waiting to go.
Yeah, it's pointed.
All our producer has to do is
it's ridiculous.
Replace the name for when I say, "Hey, everybody, welcome to the 1099 to hear you Real Free Life podcast."
It's gonna be like that dub.
Yeah, just a bad dub.
Real Free Life. All right. Well, that's okay though. But I think then people now will get the joke. They'll get that's.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Remember those first 10 episodes when they didn't have a name? It was great.
Man, it just really teaches you to Google stuff before you make a really serious commitment. It really does.
Those guys are really learning a lot from that. Teaching.
Yeah. What are those guys doing now? That one guy's protecting a bridge. I know that. The guy with the blanket. And he's the beard looks exactly the same though. He hasn't shaved for years.
It hasn't grown any longer.
Exactly as grizzled.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Please keep the names coming. And we'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely, man.
Okay, trim that up, Mike.
We appreciate
it, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. See you at Copy Chief Live. Bye.